6. Gohard ended up playing more rounds than Ding, however.
That is mostly because most our matches, our winning matches, have been quite a bit closer sometimes. Our losing matches, we've lost a few matches, for example, and it could very well be due to that.
Yep. We were talking earlier on, Kevin, about Deadzone, about the average round time as well between both teams.
Yeah, it's quite equal. You can see that Gohard are just, taking their time a bit more, maybe using their artillery to the most efficient.
Yeah, you can see by the slightly longer round time that they do like to use the time of the round to play for artillery, really.
Mm-hmm.
So we can up the team before going in, pushing in, and taking the win.
And with Ding as well, we had higher average damage there as well, and individual damage. I think that's generally because Ding have two outstanding players in Breakneck and Positive that are pretty much consistent the entire season. You can always bank on these guys doing a hell of a lot of damage.
Yeah, we've seen them, shine at the Rumble in New York as well. We see the carry that Positive had against Kasna, managing to win that game. Really, really amazing plays by him.
And now, with their opponents, Gohard, Scarium, who do you rate in your team as being the out-and-out one to always look for, to say, if the chips are down, who's that one guy you're going to, or even two players that you're going to rely on?
The main player I'd be looking out for would be Failware, actually. He's the main damage dealer for the team. He's always been doing consistent damage. I think his average damage over the season has been about 1,900 something, 1,970. So it's almost about the highest in the whole league, and I think based on fantasy points, he's the highest in the league. Another player that I could talk about will probably be Carry Barry, but he's sometimes Carry Barry, sometimes never Carry Barry. So it depends on how he's feeling today.
It is indeed. This is something that's important as well, is that Oops, Kazna Crew and Ding have all played in LAN before. This is the first time that Gohard have ever been here on LAN in front of an audience, and that could potentially have an impact as well. Sometimes, from the cameras, in front of the crowd with the noise, it can be a bit overwhelming, but other teams can react to it completely naturally.
Yeah, I would imagine they'll be pretty tense about this moment. It's what they've worked throughout the whole season. They've worked for this. Now they're here, now they have to prove themselves.
Now, the match format here is going to be best of 13 rather than best of 9 that we play for, so it's going to be first to 7. And the maps, let's actually have a look at the vetoes for the maps that were ruled out by the teams. Ding taking away Muravanka, which is quite interesting. I would expect Gohard to have removed that one, and Gohard removing Cliff there from the map pool.
It's actually really interesting because statistically seen, both teams already, didn't play Muravanka a lot this season. But Cliff, though, it's a team that both teams played quite a lot.
Yeah, and I'm quite surprised to see Cliff being banned, because I'd imagine Gohard would have prepared for it quite a lot.
Yeah, I guess the teams just want to play safe, make sure that nobody can rush them.
Yep, so our first map of the day is going to be on Mines. Right now, I do know that on that desk right now, Daki Emoji will be killing themselves laughing at my pronunciation of Mines. Gohard starting off in the defense on that one, Deadzone.
Yeah, on the defensive side, it's currently quite a good map to play defensive with the new meta, using mouses to full effect. Trying to get that HP down in just 10 minutes is quite hard.
However, with the removal of the boost from the south on the hill, it's been actually a bit more attack biased as well. So it's going to be a bit of a hard battle for Gohard.
Okay, well, next after that one, we're going to be moving into Prokhorovka, where Ding will be starting out on the defense, and then going into Himmelsdorf with Gohard on the attack.
Gohard is Himmelsdorf is a pretty interesting choice, because Gohard are actually pretty good at it. I would imagine Ding to maybe ban Himmelsdorf, so maybe they've got something special prepared for it.
I think both teams, they've done their well. They've worked on this match, the most important match, getting into that final, especially for Gohard. Like they already said in the video, they want to get to that final. They want to go to those grand finals.
Okay, there will be a little break, I believe, after that third map, Himmelsdorf. Then we go into Ghost Town for the fourth map. Ding starting off on the attack, with then Steps coming in fifth with Gohard on the defense.
Ghost Town is actually the most even map that we have in the league at the moment, even with the introduction of the mouses. So it's going to be interesting to see if they bring anything new, or they just play it slow, normal, as they did throughout the online season.
And then Runeberg map number 6. It's a map that generally everyone avoided recently since the update with the mouse meta. So do you think we'll see some surprise tactics coming out there, Deadzone?
It's actually really interesting because Runeberg was normally more defense favorite, then went to attack favorite with the new mouse meta, and back to defense favorite.
And it's quite interesting to see that Ding will be starting on defense first. So you'd imagine Runeberg is a more defense-biased map, so if it's coming to like a 6-5 or something of the sort, and Ding starts first and they're leading 6 points, and it's going to be a lot of pressure on Gohard.
Okay. Now, actually, there we go, that's important bit. Tiebreaker is going to be Ghost Town as well. Ghost Town, as you said, being one of the more balanced maps. That's going to be really interesting for for whoever gets the first quickest win, actually, because that could be really telling for what tactics they want to do on Ghost Town.
It's actually really interesting because Ghostland, like we said already before, the most equal map. It's gonna really decide on scale who has, you know, the point, who's gonna win this game.
It's one of the ones you always can get either cap shenanigans or you get fights. What do you prefer seeing yourself? Do you prefer Scarium, the fights or the cap tactics?
Definitely prefer seeing the fights. There's a lot more player skill involved, the matches are longer, there's more to talk.
Question, I'm going to put you on the spot here, both of you. Predictions here for the first round. Is it going to be Ding? Is it going to be Gohard? And you can't do what Daki says, and Daki just says, I think one of the teams will win. Either one of these teams will win. There will be a winner. Which team do you think is going to win? And I even put it out and ask you for a score prediction as well.
As for a score prediction, I honestly couldn't tell. Obviously, I'm gonna root for Gohard, but realistically speaking, because Gohard's got the more experience, Ding's got more experience actually. Excuse me. They will probably take the edge in this match. Although hopefully it'll be a very close one.
I'm also hoping for a very close match, but looking at the previous events, looking at Ding, just so much star players, I think Ding is going to take it somewhere around 7-4.
I'm going to go with Gohard, and I'm going to go with 7-4 Gohard. Because I think what I want, personally in my heart, is a Gohard Oops final, because I think that's the most exciting scenario we can get today. And while they've been playing great for it, Ding have been playing great as well. It could go all the way. It could be, I mean, last season 1 we had 7-6, 7-6, then we had 7-5, so it was a really long day. Let's try and find out if we can get predictions from Dekillzor and Mojo as they're ready to start off the match.
Well, predictions, we don't venture there because it usually ends up with betting. But Mojo, you wanted to talk about the ban a little bit. Cliff being banned from Gohard.
Yes, Cliff is definitely their second worst map. Murovanka is kind of a horrible map for both of those, so it was highly expected he's gonna get banned. They both played it just 3 times with meaningless success. 33% both, but Cliff is the only map below 50% for Gohard, so it's kind of a normal choice for them to ban it, considering they lost it 2-0 to Oops in the playoffs in the seeding match. So I would say that's quite a normal pick here in their side, because they're just playing now the maps that they have better success rate on.
Now, looking at this map pool, Mojo, what do you think in terms of what's going to happen here? I mean, we hear the desk, 2 of them in favor of Ding, Ryan in favor of Gohard. No surprise there, but if you had to pick a winner between these two, what do you think? Because the desk, we've talked about it, the experience coming out from Ding is tremendous. I mean, LAN events, they've been there, they've done it. Gohard, their first time, but when speaking to them, they felt pretty comfortable. They didn't seem nervous, they seemed ready to go, and perhaps their eagerness, because Ding has already done it, so they don't really have... They have to reprove themselves, but in an essence, how much do they actually want to win? Because they're already going to grand finals.
I kind of think this match will be one of those 7-5, and I can't say with certainty who will win. I would pick Ding because of experience, but there is a chance here for Gohard for sure, because I like their tactics, they're more innovative, they might surprise Ding here, and if all the players manage to perform, they have a high chance actually to win it. Like as Scarium already said, yes, they have some stable players like Failware and so on, but there are some guys like Kerryberry. If they actually manage to be in the top of the team, I think they have a really high chance to win Ding.
Yeah, but it depends, you know, I think it's really going to come down to those first 1-2 rounds and see what happens there. And speaking about that, let's get into it. Mine's going to be our first map, Mojo, the lineups here. What do you think of them?
Oh, we have so many heavy tanks, of course. We've seen something like this done before. Gohard defending here, going with Type 5. But look at this. We already have Ding's tanks going for the water.
Well, Mojo, let's find out and see what is going to happen here between these two getting into it. Already, like you said, Ding pushing down the 1-2 line, sending Breakneck over there. What is the plan here for them?
They definitely want to avoid fighting these brawl tanks, heavy tanks like Type 5 in the center and Mouse. But they want to establish some dominance if the players from Gohard are trying to go on the left side and snipe them down. That's why they have T49 so far ahead, everyone ready to snipe. After that, they can do the slow approach on the center if they feel like it, or they can just pressure the cap, because Gohard in this game does not have an RT.
Well, we can see Meritorious in his mouse is going to probably position himself on the cap, Mojo, with the T49 behind. So then you're going for a cap shot. How do you see this work out, especially against the Type 5 from Coca Collapse that could peek over and remove Greets in one shot?
Still, there is a possibility for players from Ding to just like track him and end his career right there, because that tank is super chunky and it's really hard to just maneuver him left and right when someone is positioned like that.
See Coca Collapse POV here, just looking towards the island, nobody making a shot towards him so far. Hooknick actually gets spotted out in the grill, he needs to play safe. Annihilator Now, coming closer to reset the cap, and in the meantime, Barry and Failware and Maga actually, are they going to counter push Mojo?
Ooh, Hulkling.
Not very much better. Coca Collapse making a big shot. Breakneck now getting pushed on by the 3 bad shots from Gohard. And what a play here, already removing Breakneck, and this is going absolutely brilliant for Gohard.
This is a disaster for Ding. They were completely outplanned here by the Gohard. Gohard has supremacy almost everywhere. But there is a counter-attack to the middle. But look at this, Type 5 connection on positive.
Mojo, there's only one thing to do now, and listen to the teams, we can see if they can recover from this.
Не на гору могут поехать.
Я
Tell me
сейчас,
if he's
у нас
ready.
блок.
He didn't think he's
По-моему.
ready.
Мне сейчас будет пизда, потому что меня разберет вот этот вот челик. Когда садим бот. Уже начал разбирать.
Ну, кати потихоньку.
And they messed up when
Я
they
понял.
За фаршот.
Блин, меня могут убить сейчас.
ВЗшку надо убить чаем, я выставлюсь
Да.
по ней. Засвети ее. Ты можешь
Сейчас.
Она, по идее, меняться.
Танчил
Я могу
маус.
танкануть сейчас вы.
Ну, засвети ее там, коне, да.
КД. И тайп КД.
Я доберу ее, будет.
Добирай.
Пройдет.
Или на руками?
Я когда?
Можете еще.
Бат.
Бля, КД маус.
Бат -1. -2 у бата.
Попал, не буду на гору ехать.
Я шотный. С респа бат -2 давал. Failware.
Или югу,
Или
Москву
we need
хер.
help here.
I'm coming. I don't know why you went alone.
Все нормально. КД, да.
КД. У меня 15.
Бат.
На гору.
Бата, зацельте бата быстрее.
Я целю,
еще.
я целю.
2 бата.
I'll shoot the second.
Дал.
Or no.
Ну, я, по идее, иду. Тут второй бат, все.
КД маус снизу.
А чё? Зачем вы так быстро в захват стали? В чем смысл? Нас 0 вообще отстрела по поводе.
Easy. Please run.
Я там же не мог пока меня засветил до 10. Я по красной ехал.
Да ты должен был сразу...
What a play, Mojo, coming out here from Gohard. That counter push, it was risky, but it worked out beautifully. And picking up this first round is going to mean so much to them.
It was really timely fashion how they did it. I liked the aggression that was shown. They didn't hesitate in the reactions whatsoever. They knew the cap pressure is imminent and they never saw anyone on going for the hill. They pre-aimed the position when Grille might be. That was actually a really nice move. And in the same moment pushed with butt-shots. Absolutely nice reaction here by Gohard and really nice things to see how they're handling themselves.
Yeah, a little bit of an overextension there from Hooknik because it seemed like he was in that C1 pocket and he still managed to get connected by Coca Collapse, who's still alive right now as well, which is pretty impressive seeing the amount of fire that came towards him. Kurit's now the last man standing. One more shot. Wiggling backwards, forwards, Zafarchik now, who's going to pick it up? It's Kurit actually gets Zafarchik, but Failware picks it up. And that's Gohard picking up their first round. Not what we expected.
This is something they really needed. A good start is always needed for a new team when they come to the season offlines, because this